People who have survived an attempt on their life by dumb luck. What's your story? When I was 10, my grandfather was dying from complications of his heart issues and mental deterioration. I didn't know him very well, as the last time we had been in contact was when I was a baby. My father never liked him and didn't bother coming with me and my mother to visit him in the hospital. When we got there, he was resting peacefully and my mother went forward and whispered some words to him. I imagine about his current state of health. I hung back a little bit because the creepy old guy whom I didn't recall seeing in my whole life really freaked me out. Regardless of my anxiety, my mom said I should approach Grandpa and share some nice words with him. I understood by how sad my mother was that I shouldn't argue too much, so I approached his hospital bed to speak to him. He didn't seem conscious at all, so I just did what my mother did, leaning forward and just whispered some nice things to him. Things took a turn when mid-sentence his eyes flared open and he stared at me, making me stop what I was saying. My heart dropped into my butt because there was pure hatred in his eyes. As soon as we made eye contact, he bolted upright from his bed and wrapped his hands around my neck. He started squeezing as hard as he could, which for a person who was dying it shouldn't have been that hard. But he put all his strength into that squeeze and he had me seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes I still feel his hands wrapped around my neck and I start gasping for air, just like I had done all those years ago. I remember tears falling down my eyes and the loud shouting from my mom trying to scream for a nurse. My grandpa just squeezed harder and yelled, "Effing betrayal, you betrayed me." And then he died. His grip loosened and he flatlined. I immediately breathed for air and started coughing like crazy. He left bruises on my neck that didn't fade for over a week. My mother was inconsolable as it happened, and I was just extremely confused and crying out of sheer trauma at the situation. After we managed to calm down, a nurse explained to my mother that his severe dementia had left him barely coherent, and it was likely he had thought I was someone else. I didn't learn this until several years later, but my mother suspected my grandfather saw my father in me. My father was an alcoholic womanizer and fairly abusive in my earlier childhood, so my grandfather resented him for it. I guess I look a little too much like my dad.